You're listening to Freezecast, a podcast discussing all the latest news and drama in the Toontown community. Hello everyone, welcome back to Freezecast. Before we begin today's episode, I want to say thank you to all our generous listeners and sponsors. Because of your support, we were able to buy a real Freezecast studio. If you had told me back when we were starting out that we would eventually have our own studio, I don't know if I would have believed you. So thank you again for your support. But enough of that, we have a show to do. Anyway, this is Freezecast episode 11, brought to you by justiceforfreeze.com. More on that later. Today's guest has raised over $100,000 for charity, but somehow still manages to be anti-justice. Please welcome Smirky.
Thanks for having me. Freeze. Wait, did you say anti-justice?
Yes, I did. You clearly don't support our cause, so I'm not sure why you'd be offended by that. You've barely even acknowledged our movement. The least you could do is just advertise our YouTube channel.
I mean, I can't just tarnish my perfect spotless image by associating myself with the likes of you, so I guess you're right, after all.
Before I reply to you, I'm going to have to ask what you meant by that.
You know what I meant. You and your movement are a plague on this community, like a swarm of locusts with megaphones, shouting bad takes and worse vibes, chewing through every shred of decency that Toontown's got left.
Toontown never had any decency to begin with. I mean, have you seen the kind of people who are a part of it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, can we talk about my accomplishments some more?
You raised $100,000 for charity, which is commendable, but I'm getting the feeling that you're not who you present yourself as on camera.
What? Oh yeah, I guess I'm not. But honestly, who cares? As long as people see me as this kind, generous, friendly, and whatever other positive adjectives person, it doesn't matter what I'm actually like.
You do know this is being recorded, right?
Just cut that part out, it's fine.
Right. I had my suspicions about you ever since you came on my cooking show a while back. All you're doing is confirming those suspicions.
I don't care. You are going to cut out what I tell you to cut out. Is that clear?
I think you're forgetting whose show this is, right? Well, tell us more about your heroic charity work, I guess.
Okay, well, I've raised money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, obviously, and that's the one I've raised the most money for. Then there's Able Gamers, Transgender Law Center, and a lot more that I can't get into right now because we would run out of time.
Of course. Like I said, I really do applaud your charity work, but...
But what? Charity work is charity work. It doesn't matter the reason I'm doing it.
I mean, technically...
Technically what, huh? You're not about to diss charity work, are you?
No, and can you stop interrupting me? That's very impolite.
Ugh, fine, go ahead.
As I was saying, doing charity work for attention and to make you look like a better person is generally frowned upon. Some would even go as far as to say that particular motive negates any charity you may do.
Honestly, just shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear your moralizing rant.
It wasn't a rant, it's just basic morality. I was hoping you would know that.
Yeah? Well, nobody cares about morality. They only care about how they can look good. Like me.
Trust me, when this podcast comes out, you'll look anything but good.
You are going to cut all of this out. Do you understand?
Again, I own and run this show. I'll cut out what I want to cut out.
No, you won't. You'll cut out what I tell you to cut out. I graced your stupid, pathetic little podcast with my presence, so I have the right to tell you what to cut and what to leave in. Do I make myself clear?
Clear as day. Anyway, how's life been for you since Mega Snoop moved out?
It's been pretty tough. Not gonna lie, Mega Snoop was always my biggest supporter, and he's one of my best friends. He's supported me through all the hard times in my life, and hey, are you listening?
What? Oh yeah, that must be pretty tough. I mean, I know he was probably your biggest financial supporter, and seeing how much he makes per year, that's depressing.
Yeah, he was the one paying our rent, so losing him has been, well, devastating, to be honest.
Why you'd let Mega Snoop of all people pay your rent is beyond me. He probably spent most of your rent money on fast food.
Nope, only about 40% of it.
What the? Mega Snoop? How'd you get in here?
Wait a minute, this isn't Taco Bell. I smelled some leftovers in the dumpster in the back alley, and I decided to sneak in through the back to try and get some more free food.
That's disgusting. I hate Taco Bell. The previous owner of this building must have... Wait. Did you say more free food?
Yeah, I wasn't just gonna let that go to waste. Like, it's perfectly good Taco Bell, so...
Get out.
Sorry, Mega Snoop, but we were kind of in the middle of an interview.
Oh, hi, Smirky. I didn't see you there. How's everything back in Vegas? Any windstorms recently?
Get out. Now.
Okay, but just let me check the trash first.
You have until I finish the ad read to get out. Otherwise, I'm calling the cops. You're blacklisted from this podcast after your last stunt, which means you're trespassing. Anyway, this episode of Freezecast is brought to you by justiceforfreeze.com, the recently launched homepage of the Justice for Freeze organization. On justiceforfreeze.com, you can find out more about the movement, how it got started, and who's a part of it. You can also purchase Jeff products, sign up for Jeff events, and read the all-new text-based icy news stories. There's even a blog run by a health professional, evaluating the health risks of playing different Toontown servers. The website will be receiving constant updates, so make sure to check back often to make sure you don't miss anything. Thank you, justiceforfreeze.com, for sponsoring today's episode of Freezecast. Now, back to the show. Is Mega Snoop gone?
Yeah, he left during the ad read. Do you have any other questions or whatever? Because this is getting boring.
Well, I wanted to ask you about... Come on, Smirky. Are you seriously still afraid of the wind? I thought you got over your fear after I interviewed you in your bunker.
I literally got blown 1.5 miles downwind from where we were standing. Why would that do anything except reinforce my fear of wind?
I apologize for thinking you weren't a massive baby. Well, definitely not massive, but you get the idea.
So, do these supposed questions exist, or...
Come on, man. Patience is a virtue. But yes, the questions do exist. The listeners want to know, does being a so-called Twitch ambassador pay well?
Are these listeners stupid, if they even exist, that is? Of course it doesn't pay well, or else I wouldn't be sharing rent with a bunch of other Toontown content creators.
What do you mean, if they even exist? There's a reason I have over 300 subscribers. It's because justice is the best form of media.
That's cute. You think 300 subs is impressive? I have over 22,000 followers on Twitch.
Quantity of followers and quality of content don't always correlate.
Tell that to my 22,000 plus followers.
I literally just said, you know what? Forget it. We're going to move on to the listener-submitted questions now. Are you ready?
Ugh, just make it quick. I have places to go and people to see.
Sure you do. Anyway, our first listener asks, you have been able to gather several sponsorships and opportunities from your channel, whereas Mega Snoop has not. Though both entities originated from atrocious but analogous content streams with overlapping audiences, one ultimately achieved ascendancy over the other. What I am trying to say is, do you think Mega Snoop is a talentless loser?
What? No, of course not. He's my best friend. Okay, and you can cut it right there, so I look good on your stupid little podcast. But honestly, yeah, he's a talentless hack and the biggest loser I've ever met in my life.
Clipped and sent to Mega Snoop.
Wait, no, you can't.
Relax, I have him blocked, despite his repeated attempts to get around it. He's made over 320 alternative accounts just to try to contact me again. But at least we agree that he's a loser.
Phew, I hate to agree with you on anything, but I'd probably block him too if he wasn't such a quote-unquote good friend of mine.
Our next question submitted by listeners is, what is your favorite Nintendo game?
Toontown, for sure.
That's not...
Don't care, it's Toontown.
I know, but they asked about your favorite Nintendo game specifically.
Toontown is my favorite game. Next question.
Okay, don't answer the question then. Whatever. Next question. Will you please playtest Toontown Hostile Takeover when it comes out? They could really use the boost to their player count. I just want to say, you're not fooling anyone. This was obviously sent in by a Toontown Hostile Takeover developer.
Definitely, I'm sure it'll be Toontastic, and Right there is where you cut it. I don't know why these idiots think I have the time and energy to play their obscure Toontown servers that will almost certainly fail. Like, what the hell even is Toontown Hostile Takeover?
I really hate that. I know this, but I have to keep up with Toontown News for Icy News. It's the Operation Desert Storm rebrand.
Oh, that sounds stupid. Hostile Takeover, huh? They really must be running out of names at this point.
To be fair, every other semi-decent name is already taken or has been used for a failed project. Our next listener submitted this question. Is it true that you have glass bones and paper skin?
What a stupid question. This isn't SpongeBob. But to answer, yes, and my heart attacks put me to sleep every night.
That's honestly not surprising. Our final question is, why are you scared of the wind?
Are we seriously doing this again? I'm tired of answering this idiotic question. I already said on this very podcast episode that I got blown half a mile from where I was standing when you interviewed me for your dumb icy news show. Seriously, it shouldn't be this difficult to understand. I don't know what I expected, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised since your fan base is all 5-year-olds.
This podcast hasn't aired yet. Genius. They don't know you said that. But maybe if you lifted some weights every now and then. Or, had a meal, you wouldn't have the wind problem.
Ugh, clearly you don't get it. Why would I do those things when I could be streaming Toontown instead?
Playing Toontown is a complete waste of time, with the exception of advocating for justice, of course.
A complete waste of time? What, you mean like me coming on this podcast?
Well, looks like we agree on another thing. You've completely ruined this episode. You're a disgrace. But I'm sure your followers will be interested to see your true personality and motives. Now, get out.
I was already leaving anyway. And if this episode gets posted on your channel without my prior approval, my lawyers will be in contact.
Yeah, right? You don't even have lawyers. You couldn't even afford a pro bono lawyer.
Just try to post this episode, you'll regret it.
Well, guys, that was Smirky. Hopefully he learns to be a more genuine and kind-hearted person soon. In the meantime, don't forget to check out justiceforfreeze.com for info on the movement, event signups, blogs, merchandise, and more. And tune in next time when we'll have a special guest on to discuss how not to build an audience on social media. Until next time, I'm your host, Freeze. This was Freezecast episode 11, and we're done here.
Funding for this episode of Freezecast was made possible in part by justiceforfreeze.com. and by listeners like you. Thank you. Freezecast is written by Mr. Freeze and produced by the Freeze Network for Justice for Freeze. This podcast is a parody meant for entertainment purposes only. The creators of Freezecast do not condone the harassment of anyone appearing in or mentioned in this podcast. Freezecast is a work of fiction. All characters appearing in this work are fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. Thank you for listening to Freezecast.